Yo, what the fuck going on? It's your boy ZG. Welcome back to another episode of the Zach Smackz Show. Today I got a very, very special guest. I got Scott from SM Sports Picks. Been in the business, Scott. You tell him.
36 years, Zach.
36 years.
Long time, man. Been through it since 1988. Going in my 37th year picking games for a full-time living. So, this is my passion, and I stuck with it, and I'm still doing it.
It's amazing, Scott, and I love to hear that. I mean, me and you had a really fun night the other night at the Hard Rock, and we talked a little bit more.
Cool. It was
cool. Fun.
Yeah.
We were winning money. If you guys are following the Instagram at Zach Smackz, you guys are seeing I'm working. I'm putting in the time, making content for you guys. I was at the casino the other night, and Scott's right behind me. I'm playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em. I look down at 6-5 offsuit. I'm hardly paying attention, ordering a Coors Light from the lady. I look down at the flop, 5-5-5, 3,600 right there, and then we had a great time playing with Maddie and Jerry. Shout out Jerry, shout out Alex, shout out Maddie. We were playing with them all in high limit at the Rock. So awful, amazing night there. But Scott, a couple of questions for you. What makes you different in terms of this kind of game? Obviously, me and you both know. You go on Instagram, you see all these people trying to sell their service, trying to sell who they are. You've been doing this for 37 years. You are very good at what you do. You're extremely consistent. I love watching your content. What makes you different in this game than other people?
I don't think it's anything about what makes me different. It's just what I do. It's my strategies, the way I think, the way I put things together. I dissect these games from A to Z. I'm looking for every angle that I feel I'll have the razor-sharp number in my corner, and that's what I do. It's not a question of I'm any different than the next guy. It's just that my experience, I think, doing this so long, seeing so much, knowing these teams, knowing these games, watching certain things, not chasing after, bad mistakes that I think a lot of guys make out there by going after these games, over and over again, chasing after them. They're never satisfied with one game, one winner, two winners, five winners. They want the sixth winner.
Of course.
But I play quality over quantity. That's what's made me successful.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, I think the biggest thing with gambling, I'm sure you can agree with me on, is being disciplined. And what you just said right there proves that. And in my opinion,
there's two things that make someone successful when it comes to gambling, and no matter what kind of gambling: money management and knowing when to walk away. That's the key to being successful. Everyone's going to have a bad day. You just got to, you just can't make that bad day worse and worse. You got to know when to call it a day and come back the next day. Listen, at the end of the day, it's consistency. It's how you manage your money. It's those are the key ingredients to being successful when it comes to this business. And that's why I've been around for so long and still doing it at this level.
It's incredible. And, obviously, my age, I told you how old I am, 24 years old, and you see the younger generation that is absolutely, because I'm sure when you were growing up, let me back up. When you were growing up, betting was not talked about as much as it is now on TV. The announcers weren't, making hints at over and under. So it's completely different now. So if you had to give advice to the younger generation that's getting into this, and obviously getting into it hot and heavy with all these different apps and Prize Picks, Underdog, all these different apps that you can bet on, what would you say for them would be the best thing that they can manage their money the best and learn how to do this the right way?
Well, that's a great question. It's the individual. I mean, like I said, you can't be loose. You can't be a loose cannon with this, guys. You really can't. You have to really be strategic when it comes to betting. I mean, enough's enough. You try to play a certain amount of dollars each day and stay in your budget, and don't over budget yourself, because if you get hurt doing that, you're going to knock yourself out of this game real fast. And I try to tell younger guys that because, I don't know if they don't believe it, or they got to see it for themselves, or they think they know it better than I do. I've seen it all. I've been doing this since 1988, like I said, for a living. I mean, this is not something that just started yesterday. I've seen all walks of life when it comes to sports betting, Zach. And let me tell you something. The guys that stay around are the guys that are tight with what they're doing. They're running it like a real business, and they're not, loose cannons, just gambling for the sake of gambling. A lot of the younger guys, they just like the action of it, and they want to be in these 10-leg parlays and 6-leg parlays and chasing after these games throughout the game live. It's not the answer. I mean, anyone can get lucky. A broken clock is right twice a day, right? As they say, the old adage. So at the end of the day, I think you got to play with your head, not over your head. And sometimes you got to just bow out and wait for the next day. Maybe something tomorrow comes along a lot better than what looks today.
I like that a lot, Scott. And what's your favorite sport to bet on?
Well, I love college basketball. It's been a big component of mine for many, many years. I've been really fortunate to be successful with it. I actually like college football And I like baseball. Baseball's good because, again, baseball's a money line sport. There's no point spread.
Sure.
The way I work my games, the way I look for the ingredients I do, the numbers I look at these games. So I'm trying to always find that edge to give myself. So baseball, college football, and college basketball are probably my premier 3 sports.
What would you say made you the most successful in college basketball? Is it more of a trend betting thing, or?
No, not really. It's based on numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I mean, I'm looking for point spreads. I'm looking for the right ingredients that I feel give me the upper hand. I'm following certain teams throughout the season. I look at matchups. I look at, how they do against certain situations, the point spreads in certain situations. I'm always looking to beat the number. At the end of the day, injuries all come into play. We all know that. They're going to adjust the line if a key player's out. I get all that stuff, all the strategies that go behind it. But at the end of the day, I'm building off momentum. I'm looking at certain teams that I feel are going in the right direction. I try to stay off teams that I feel are going in a bad direction. I don't think they're going to come out of it just to think they're due to win type of philosophy. I'm not a due to win kind of guy. I'm always looking for something that gives me the edge. And I just look for, that's what I do. That's what made me successful at what I'm doing. I'm always looking for the right teams I feel to jump in and out of.
I love it, Scott. I got a fun one for us here, too. I mean, one thing with sports betting, we all know we have really good days and really bad days. Can you think of a time for me that you've had just a bad beat that was on your mind? You stared at the ceiling fan all night? I mean, I've been there before.
Oh, my God. I've had them back probably before you were even born. If you can remember a game many, many years ago, Colorado against Notre Dame, I believe it was. It was the Hail Mary pass at the end. I actually was fortunate to win that game where Colorado threw it up at the very, very end, and the guy caught it in the end zone for a winning touchdown. I've had ones that were bad beats recently in baseball. I had Baltimore recently playing against Toronto. They were ahead 8-0 in the second inning, and they played Tampa Bay. Baltimore was up 8-0 in the second, and Tampa Bay came back and scored 12 unanswered runs, and I got beat 12-8 in the game. That's a brutal beat because you're up 8-0 in baseball. You think you're home free, and you weren't so home free, were you?
It's a fact. So one thing, Scott, don't quote me on this book for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Bet365. It's based in Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
If you bet any line on that game, if they're up 6-0 at any point,
you could cash out.
You know that?
Yeah, I know all about it. Problem is, a lot of places, a lot of the regulated don't really do that. It's more of I think the offshore kind of books that allow it. There's a few that do it. I've had guys that actually pulled out of that game. It's funny you say that when the game was above 6 runs. So some guys did cash out, but the majority of them didn't. But there are options where you can cash it out. Obviously, in this day and age, I never had those options when I was a kid.
Of course, it's evolving.
When I was betting, Zach, it was crazy. They only really offered you the point spread on the game and the total. There was nothing else. There was no half times. There was none of this stuff that goes on nowadays.
You're leading to my next point, Scott. What we're going to create here in the next couple of weeks for these people. So, as you heard, back in the day, they only had the point spread. They only had the totals.
Right.
Scott and I are currently working on a old school, new school betting philosophy for you guys, to where you're going to be able to get my picks of what I specialize in, which is player props, anytime touchdowns, any sort of game prop on the MLB, NFL. That's my specialty. What Scott has mastered, and he's a betting expert, is he's mastered, as we talked, first 5 innings, run total, money line, over under. Scott's mastered all that. So with our expertise together, we want to get you guys as many winners as we possibly can and hit at the highest clip possible. So I'm glad you brought that up, Scott, and that's the point of today's episode. You guys be on the lookout in the next couple weeks. We're going to be launching a new school, old school betting philosophy system for you guys that we're going to be giving out picks that you guys can purchase, that you guys are going to be absolutely cashing out on. So be on the lookout for that. Anything you want to touch on that, Scott?
Yeah, no, I think that's great because it opens it up for a big genre of people to listen to your opinions as well as mine. More, like I said, I've tailored my career, finding how to beat the point spreads, the money lines on the teams, first 5 innings. I got into more and more over the recent years, over-unders. I keep it kind of simple, guys. I keep it moving. I keep it real. I'm all about quality. I don't put out a lot of games. But, with your strategies and my strategies combined, it could make it very interesting to get more people involved and give them the winning edge that they need.
course. And like I was telling you before, I do feel like the younger generation now that is getting into betting with all these new apps. I'm sure you've heard of Prize Picks and all these different apps that you can bet on. Prize Picks is simply only for player props and whatnot. So I do believe that with this strategy, it will help tailor to every single kind of client, people that are only looking to bet props, people that are looking to get spicy on touchdowns. I do like my touchdown parlays. I know parlay is not the winning answer, but I do enjoy betting the touchdown parlays. Like I said, last year we hit for $37,000 in profit on touchdowns last year in the NFL, which if you guys do have bankroll, which Scott mentions the most important thing, you can bet every one of my plays straight on that, and you can absolutely win. So really excited to get working.
So when you
Scott. Go ahead.
I'm just curious because everybody's different, obviously, and I try to advise guys. When you have a bank, let's say your bankroll's $1,000 starting off. What typically is an average? If your bankroll's $1,000 to work with, what do you normally play on a per game basis on $1,000?
I love that question. If your bankroll's $1,000, it's $25 a unit.
Okay, $25
a unit.
So you're playing 2.5%.
Yes.
Okay.
2.5%.
That makes sense. Now, but you're playing multiple games, obviously. See, for me, I would tell my guys to play 10%. The reason being, I'm only playing one game that day.
Well, yes.
So, and I'm only looking to put out the key game that I feel makes the most sense, where I feel the criterias are at the highest level. So, in your case, where you're playing multiple games, guys, that's the key. You have to keep those bets lower if you're going to be playing 4 to 10 games a day.
Sure.
Because you're still going to be in total action. If you think about it, if you're playing 10 games at $25, you still got 25% of your total bankroll at risk, barring the results, obviously, the outcomes of those games. So I do it a little different.
A lot of those are plus money, too.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's right, because you're doing
touchdowns.
Right.
That's my specialty. But yeah, 100%. And I think for everyone it's different. You know, I always tell people, obviously, it's very cliche, but don't bet more than you can afford, of course. That's the number one rule. And you got to have bankroll management. If you do not, then there's no strategy. It's like going to play blackjack, right? And you're hitting on numbers that you shouldn't be hitting on. That, you know, the dealer's showing a 6,
right?
You have and you're hitting. Like it's bingo at that point. You have to have a structure. You have to have a way that you're gonna maximize your opportunity to win the most with the bankroll that you have. If you don't, you bet 150 on something, 25 on something else, 75 on something else. It's a losing strategy, and I think you can agree.
No doubt about it. Like I said, what I try to, tell my players that I deal with privately. Again, I run a more exclusive service. I'm dealing more one-on-one, old school, but that's the way I do it. When the guy's paying me, he's dealing with me directly. So I'm kind of advising him exactly what to do because I want him to have the best possible results that I feel I could help that bankroll grow with. So, I'm doing it a whole different way. I'm kind of massaging and building relationships with players. And hopefully those players, when they start seeing the results that we do and we're consistent, they're going to start believing in it and start following my strategies because I have so many players that I could do a good job for, but at the end of the week, they're down money. And what do I say, what's going on? How could you be down money? Well, I played with this guy. I played with another guy. I played my picks, so it didn't all work out. So I try to tell guys, listen, try to play quality stuff and don't be chasing these games because that's the biggest mistake you could do as a gambler is chasing after these games. The house has the edge on you all the time. Remember that. That's why they put the number up. They're putting a number out there for you guys to decide if you want to go with column A or column B. So at the end of the day, you got to try to figure out what number makes sense. So that's why I'm looking for so many different moving parts to come up with my selections.
So with that being said, in terms of every bet selection that you have, is that safe to say that you're never betting with your head?
Oh, I'm always betting with my head. Yeah.
Are you betting with your heart?
No, never.
See, that's the difference, and that's what separates Scott from other people. Because you have people, for example, I'll give you an example, right? You have someone that is a younger guy, and they're getting into betting, and they see, LeBron James over points. Mm-hmm. They're automatically betting that because he's LeBron James, and the books know to juice that line always. Right. I mean, you have Luka Doncic's line at 31.5, 32.5. It's ridiculous. It's never been that high before.
That's what I was saying before. Like, I'm looking for numbers that I feel I have the edge.
Sure.
I'm not going to fall into the trap of jumping into something that I know is the publicly watched, the most, situation that the public, they're going to make the toughest numbers or make those numbers really hard for you to beat them. I'm trying to expose the numbers that I think are weak by using certain strategies that I look at and teams that I'm following and situations, whether a team's hot right now or a team's not hot. I'm always looking for every angle into that matchup in addition, obviously, to the point spread or the money line.
You getting excited for NFL, Scott?
I am getting excited, yes.
Give me a sleeper.
Well, I was just talking with you about it. The LA Chargers, I think, have a big shot in the AFC this year. I think they're going to really have a good year. I think Harbaugh knows what he's doing. Obviously, he can motivate his players. He's always been a winning coach, winning record, no matter where he's gone. And I think with the weapons that they have put together this year, and I think another year with Herbert under his belt, and Herbert, I was just saying, he's thrown the most yards in the first 5 years in the NFL out of any quarterback in the history of the NFL. He's passed for over 23,000 yards in a little over 5 years. So that's what, 4,300 yards, roughly 4,400 yards that he's thrown for per season. He does make a lot of mistakes sometimes, though, but I think with the weapons they have and the way they're building their defense and their offense, I think that they could be a sleeper and go far this year.
I like that pick.
Watch the Chargers, guys.
I like that pick a lot. Yeah, you hit some good picks
there. Obviously barring injuries and things like that, God forbid they lose some key players. But if everything stays straight on focus, I think the Chargers could be a good play this year.
Yeah.
They could go deep.
No, I like that a lot. If I had to give one for me, I would probably say the Washington Commanders. I think that team is definitely going to win their division. I like them at plus 200 to win their division. I think the Eagles obviously have shown you that they're extremely competitive in every game with Barkley and Hurts. I mean, you never know how that team can be, especially with the two wide receivers they have in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yep.
And a great tight end. Still very good offensive line, even without Jason Kelsey. But
the only thing you got to worry about is that sophomore jinx for Daniels.
Of course. That's the thing that I got to worry about with him.
Yeah.
But I think that the Eagles lost a lot of people on defense. I do think Nick Sirianni's up and down as a coach. I think that he has a locker room. Sometimes he doesn't. And I think that the Commanders, obviously coming from a 4-win season before Daniels to getting to the NFC Championship and giving the Eagles a run for their money in that game, I think that's a really good team, and I don't see there's any reason why they can't go back to the NFC Championship.
No, I agree with you. They got a great team. They got a fantastic leader for this young kid. His definitely heads on straight. Had a phenomenal season, carried them in the playoffs. They played extremely well. They really gave Philly all they could handle in that final game when they lost it, before they lost the game. But they had a sensational year last year, and if they could bring the pieces back and they can keep themselves focused, no reason why they can't have another great year this year. It depends on Daniels, at the end of the day, because, we've seen that sophomore jinx affect a lot of
C.J. Stroud last year, big time.
It affected him big time. It's affected a lot of players over the years, big time. But you might have something there with Washington.
Yeah. Just for fun, I put this together, and I wanted to read it to you real quick. I put together a division parlay for this year.
Oh, boy.
And it took me about a month to put this in and solidify it. But here's what I got for this year. I got the Rams winning the West at plus 180. I got the Broncos winning the West, AFC West, at plus 300. I just think that we talked about it in the last show. I like Bo Nix a lot. I like Sean Payton. I think that they're a receiver away. Their defense played good. They signed Hufanga from the 49ers. I think that team's going to be really good this year. And at 3-1, I think the Chiefs can go down. You never know with any sort of injury or just a slump. Obviously not with Mahomes, but the team in general.
Right.
I think this is a running away with this Tampa Bay Bucks. They're even money, plus 100. I got the Commanders on the NFC East, and I got the Texans to win the South. And you're at 140-1 on that.
Wow.
I put 200 on it to win 28 grand.
Hey, listen, you could be right on, man. You never know. That's the fun part of when you do something like that. I'm okay with it because
it's a long shot.
You're betting along. You have a lot of time on your hands, and you have the potential of taking a small amount of money and turning it into a very nice size amount of money. Something like that, I'm okay with. But doing it on a regular basis, on a day-to-day, where you're putting 5 legs and 10 legs or 7 legs or 4-leg parlays together, you're not going to win them enough to make money, guys. Let me tell you why. You're going to win one. You're going to think you're the greatest of all time. You're going to flex. You're going to think that you're unbeatable, but you're going to lose the next 30 of them. I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're going to end up losing a bunch of them in a row before you even come back and get the next one. So what have you gained out of it? Yeah, you hit a 4-legger or a 10-legger, whatever the case may be, but by the time you hit the next one, all those profits will be gone because you're going to start playing more and more on those parlays. You're going to lose a lot of them in between, and by the time like I said, the next one comes around that you win, you're not going to make any profits. You'll be down money before. So why do it that way? Why not find one strong game a day, really dig in on that game, put more money into that game, and just try to stay more consistent where you're playing quality, quality plays over quantity. Yeah, I understand the quantity, you get a lot more bang for your buck. But the reason why they give you the odds is because you're not a nice guy. The sports books are out to beat you. That's the bottom line. They're out to get you. That's why they give you the opportunity to play against them, basically. At the end of the day, you're not going to beat them that often. So try to do things a little more business-wise than just loose cannon and try to gamble, and try to make big scores, because those big scores don't come often.
I love it, Scott. I think that's great. You got anything else for the people today?
I'm just excited about some ventures you and I might be doing, my man.
Very excited.
Like I said, if it was as exciting as it was the other night at the Hard Rock, I saw you taking down some nice pops. I was out when my son came out to see a couple of guys that, we knew the same Inner Circle crew there, and had a fun night out there and watching you doing your thing and stuff like that. But I'm really excited about the opportunities, like I said, with the betting, and a lot of people out there nowadays from all walks of life, all ages, younger and younger, coming into the game. So my best advice for the young guys is, hey, just cool it down, try to do it right, and you'll be around to enjoy it a lot longer than taking shots at it. Because if you take shots at it, they're going to end up beating you up, and you won't be around too long.
I love it, Scott. Thank you so much. I'm very excited for us, me and Scott. I'm very excited for you guys to be able to get in on this and really start winning some money. Enough with trying to put in the plays yourself. Scott's been doing this for 37 years. He knows the lines. He knows the games. He knows everything regarding the game. So make sure you guys check him out. Scott, where can they find you?
They can find me on my Instagram. Is the best place with the blue check mark. I'm verified out there. It's SM Sports Picks, Picks. I actually have a great thing I started about 3 months ago with my broadcast channel. All the stuff in there, guys, is absolutely for free. I don't charge a thing. And I've been hitting over the last 3 weeks over 78% with free picks, and about 67% over the last 3 months since I started it up. And that stuff I put up each and every day, one play a day. So check that out. If you go to SM Sports Picks, just click to join it. And I also have my free pick videos that I run each and every day. That's the best way to find me. And if you really are a serious player, you can send me a DM. I'll respond back to you. I do have a private VIP service, but that's for someone, obviously, that's looking for one strong play a day, wants to run it more like a business the way I do it, and those are the players I deal with on a private level. That's it, man.
Awesome, guys.
Appreciate coming on today.
Of course, Scott. It was a blast, and make sure you guys are following the @Zach Smackz official count on Instagram. We are going to be pumping out lots of content, more than just the podcast, a lot of gambling content. I know you guys like to see me lose, sometimes see me win. I know everyone just likes to see
you lose.
Sometimes they like to see me fire a couple $100 on some numbers and lose, right? It's funny, right?
Yeah,
it's entertainment. But we're winning, guys. We're winning right now. So let's keep it up. Let's keep slapping their heads. Let's win in every single category. Betting, gambling, everything. Let's win in life. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your boy ZG. This is Scott. As always, pleasure.